Hello, my name is David Pfister, and in this video we will be answering the question, where do musical notes come from? And why are certain pitch frequencies used in music and not others? We'll start by recalling how sound works. When air is disturbed, it vibrates at some number of vibrations per second. One molecule bumps another molecule, and so on until the vibration has been passed on to air that is inside your ear. The air then bumps into your eardrum and causes it to vibrate. Nerves connected to the eardrum carry information about that vibration to your brain, where the information is interpreted as sound. The number of times the air vibrates each second is the frequency of the sound, measured in hertz. Or Hz for short. If the frequency is within a certain range, roughly between 20 and 20,000 hertz, your brain can process it as sound. If it is outside that range, you don't hear the sound. The speed of sound is about 1125 feet per second, or 767 miles per hour, or 343 meters per second if you're using the MKS system. And the relationship between the speed, the frequency, and the wavelength of the sound is frequency times wavelength equals the speed. So whenever the length of a sound wave is cut in half, the frequency of that wave has to double in order to keep the speed of sound constant. Now, the air can be disturbed in a number of ways. A vibrating membrane, such as a drum, a vibrating string, such as a guitar, a vibrating reed, such as a woodwind. In a brass instrument, your lips act as reeds. Also, turbulence around the opening of a flute or a whistle can start the air vibrating. We'll use a string as our example. A string vibrates in different modes, which are called harmonics. The first harmonic is the fundamental tone and is visualized as the string vibrating simply as a single unit. So, fundamental tone looks like this. So we can see this is like a string which is fixed at both ends and vibrating in the middle. And this is the fundamental, which we can indicate with a 1 for our purposes here. The second harmonic is seen as the string vibrating in 2 halves. And here we can see if the speed is constant and the wavelength is cut in half, then the frequency is doubled. I'll indicate that with the number 2. And also, the stationary point in the middle is called a node. This harmonic sounds consonant or pleasing when played together with the first harmonic. Here they are separately. And here they are played together. In fact, it sounds like the same note, but higher. It is called an octave above the fundamental. All octaves are defined by a doubling of the frequency, as we see here. The third harmonic is demonstrated by the string vibrating in thirds. This one has 2 nodes. And it sounds like this. This is not a doubling of the harmonic below, but is 3/2 times the second harmonic. This gives us a note in between the octave. When played together, the second and third harmonics sound consonant, but slightly less so than the octave. When played sequentially, the third harmonic creates a bit of musical tension that resolves when the second harmonic is played after. This resolution is one of the most fundamental relationships in Western music. The fourth harmonic is a doubling of the second harmonic, and so gives us the next octave. And sounds like this. The next octave is the 8th harmonic, but between the 4th and the 8th harmonics there are 3 other harmonics, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. The 6th is twice the frequency of the 3rd, and so is the same note, an octave higher than the 3rd harmonic. The 5th harmonic produces a note that is less consonant than the 3rd, and the 7th is less consonant than the 3rd or the 5th. In fact, when the level of consonance is low, so we talked about consonant intervals. We have consonant or pleasing sounding intervals. When the level of consonance is low, we say that an interval is dissonant. When the notes are played at the same time. So let's see what these next 4 harmonics look like. So there's the 5th harmonic. There's the 6th harmonic. There's the 7th harmonic. And there's the 8th harmonic. And here's what those 4 harmonics sound like. We've shifted the octave so that it's still within easy listening range. These notes, with or without the octave, when played together, produce tension, which is resolved by playing a more consonant combination of notes. This is another one of the most fundamental relationships in Western music. As we follow the harmonics into higher octaves, the number of intermediate notes increases, as does the level of dissonance when these notes are played together. Between the octave of the 8th and 16th harmonics, there are 7 intermediate harmonics. The 10th, 12th, and 14th harmonics are octave doublings of earlier ones, but the 9th, 11th, 13th, and 15th give us some new notes. And here is what the harmonics in that octave sound like. Now, notes that are played simultaneously are called chords, and the lowest harmonics provide us with consonant-pleasing chords. A series of ascending or descending notes played in sequence is called a scale. And as we ascend the harmonic series, we see between each pair of octaves a scale with increasing numbers of notes as we go up. So a scale between the 2nd and 4th harmonics contains just 2 notes, the 2nd and 3rd harmonics. The 4th isn't counted as a new note as it's a doubling of the 2nd harmonic. Between the 4th and 8th harmonic, there is likewise a 4-note scale. Between the 8th and 16th harmonics, there's an 8-note scale. And between the 16th and 32nd harmonics, there's a 16-note scale. Here's what that 16-note scale sounds like. This process can be carried out to theoretical infinity, but is practically limited by the ability of our ears and brain to distinguish between the different frequencies of note pitches. Western music ultimately settled on a scale that is between 18 and 16 notes. The harmonic series can be demonstrated on a guitar by playing an open string, plucked in the normal manner. The note we hear is the fundamental or the first harmonic. If you lightly touch the middle of the string with your finger, which is directly above the 12th fret, that is, touch it but don't press it down, it will force the string to vibrate at its 2nd harmonic when plucked. So if the open string is the fundamental, the 12th fret is the 2nd harmonic. If you touch the string at 1/3 of its length, which happens to be at the 7th fret, it will produce the 3rd harmonic. And if you touch it at 1/4 of its length, which is the 5th fret, it will produce the 4th harmonic. If you touch it at 1/5 the length, which is approximately at the 4th fret, you'll get the 5th harmonic. And each higher harmonic is closer and closer to the previous one as you approach the end of the guitar neck. Now the fact is, when you play the string open without touching the harmonic, All of the harmonics are present in the note. The string actually vibrates in all of these ways at the same time, but each ascending harmonic has diminishing intensity, so you mostly hear the first harmonic. However, it really looks a little bit more like this when you combine them. This is the combination of the first 8 harmonics with equal intensity, but they won't always have equal intensity. When you touch one of the harmonic points, what you're actually doing is canceling or muting the other harmonics so that the one you are touching can be heard more clearly. The particular mix and intensity of all the harmonics that are combined to play a normal note are what distinguish the sound of a guitar from a violin or a piano. Each has a different timbre. Each has a different timbre, which is determined by the particular complex waveform that results when all of its harmonics are added together.